and welcome to the Fantasyland Basketball Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Mark Shorten. I'm not sure if you can hear some noise in the background as I'm going here, but if you are watching the video, you can see I've got a little guest down here. Puppy dog sharing the seat, and he's not exactly small, so I'm right on the edge. So if you see anything crash, it's me falling off my chair. Hope everybody's got the win over the course of the week. I obviously going to talk waivers in a bit, but I did want to make mention of a couple of guys that I spoke about last week who have been really, really good for teams. So the Memphis guys, Dillon Brooks and Desmond Bane. I really like watching Desmond Bane play basketball, but I really struggle to watch Dillon Brooks. He is just, I don't know what the coaching staff have said to him, but he seems to think that he's got a license to shoot every single ball possible. As soon as the ball gets into his hands, you know that it's being put up, which is good and bad for fantasy. Obviously, if he is having a nice day, having a good shooting day, then that's fantastic. But over the last 7 days, he's been going at a 41% clip, which is not great. The efficiency does hurt, but hasn't missed a free throw, 15 points, 2 steals, and has looked really good, whether it's starting or coming off the bench in the second unit. They've kind of been tinkering a little bit with the way that the lineup is going to go. The other one is Desmond Bane. As I said, he's a genuine baller, and I think he's going to be really good for fantasy for years to come. Not afraid to crash and bash and get his way in, and he puts it up from outside at a really nice percentage as well. 18 points over the last 7 days, 3.5 triples, 6 boards, and doing it at a relatively a very efficient rate as well. 52% from the field and 75% from the line, but small volumes at the line. I was going to put them in again this week. Memphis got 4 games. The first game of the week, day off, and then they got 2. So they got 3 in the first 4 days, which is obviously really handy, but I can't keep on repeating the same sort of guys. I reckon I've mentioned Patty Mills a couple of times. I can't keep doing that. So I'm going to steer away from those guys, but thought I'd give them a special announcement just in case you haven't picked them up. I think Desmond Bane, in fact, I think they're both worth owning while Ja Morant's out. I think that's probably the smart play. On to the ones for this week. So the number one I've got here is Alec Burks. So Alec Burks is on ESPN. He's owned in 27.4% of leagues, which I think is criminally low. He has been obviously given the license to be the starting point guard in New York. New York are struggling. They need offense, and they need a bit of defense, and he provides a bit of both of that. Since he has been given the reins, which has been about a week, 17 points, 2 steals, 2.5 assists per game. He is only shooting at 38%, so that is going to hurt. But getting to the line nearly 7 times a game, 2.3 triples, and that production is just going to stay the course until something changes in New York and they bring in a genuine point guard. Kemba Walker's out of the rotation. A lot of people have asked me whether or not Kemba is worth holding out. I've kind of toyed with the idea of holding him as potential trade bait, for within fantasy, manager to manager. But he had plenty of opportunities in New York. Obviously, Julius Randle is the guy there, and outside of Julius Randle, it's hard to pick somebody who's going to be consistent. Fingers crossed that is going to be Alec Burks moving forward. But Kemba Walker, I don't know if he is a hold. As I said, I've been toying with it. I did hold him for a couple of days there until I needed to play waivers to try and get the win. But I think it is really the makeup of your side. If you're sitting pretty 6-0, 7-0, and you want to hold on to Kemba Walker, by all means do so. Don't let me tell you otherwise. I just don't know if he's going to turn out to be a 20-5 sort of guy. I think gone are the days where that's happened. His shots were down, whether it was the type of offense that they were in, but Alec Burks is now the main guy there, and he is getting his shots. He is taking his shots, and he's getting to the line, as I said. So he is a very, very handy guy to be owning. He's shooting guard, point guard eligible on ESPN as well, which is very, very handy. So yeah, definitely worth a look this week with New York playing. Who have they got? So they got 4 games this week on an away trip to San Antonio, Indiana, Toronto, and then they got Milwaukee at home. So those first 3 games are absolute smash spots. So definitely have a look at Alec Burks. Franz Wagner, he's the second guy I've got here. He's been a bit hot and cold. He started the season really, really hot. Fell into a bit of a rough patch with his shooting, but he's back. Orlando, they have got 4 games this week. Away to Golden State, away to Sacramento, a couple of days off, and then a doubleheader away to both the LA teams. So it's not super easy. But hey, he's getting so much usage. He's putting up 16 shots per game. It's going at a 49% clip. Getting to the line a bunch as well, which is really nice, and 19 points per game over the last 7 days. So I think that Franz Wagner he should be owned in a lot of places. Certainly more than 31% of leagues. That should be up towards the 50% mark, because if they don't really have anybody else outside of Cole Anthony, who do they have to create offense there? They've got a bunch of veterans who are unreliable. They're obviously a rebuilding team. As much as I love Mo and Wendell Carter Jr. is there as well, they're not offense initiators. Obviously, they do their part, but they need Franz Wagner, and he is putting in a really good spell at the moment. So he's definitely worth a pickup this week if you are chasing points, assists, and a few steals. A couple of triples as well. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. As you can see on my graphic here, his name is far too long. In fact, the next guy's name is far too long as well to fit on this page. But Washington surprised me whenever I had a look earlier and they were sitting 3rd in the rankings, or 3rd in the standings. They only have 3 games this week, but KCP his role has changed slightly. So he's last year, and it's taken him a little bit of time to work it out, but last year he was obviously in a defensive first role where he was having to defend 1 through 3, be the guy who has to be the shot stopper and the offense stopper. He's in a new role. He's in a new role this year where he's able to have a little bit more offensive liberties, a little bit more offensive creativity. He's still got his 1.3 steals per game, but he's putting up bulk threes and he's dropping them. Like today's game, he scored 26 points and he looked awesome. A couple of fadeaways in the corners, which was really, really nice. He is going to hurt your percentages. He always has. But if you're looking for somebody who's going to get you a bit of an all-rounded stat line, KCP is definitely your guy there. Washington, they play 3 games this week. Away at Indiana, away at Detroit, and at home to Utah. So definitely have a look at KCP as well. The other guy with the ridiculously long double-barreled surname is Dorian Finney-Smith. Again, apologies if there's some grunting in the background. My dog's short snout makes it very tough for him to breathe at times. But DFS, with a great name, is owned in only 10.5% of leagues on ESPN. And he, again, just does a bit of everything. He's almost like your Royce O'Neal's for Dallas. So someone who's going to put up 10 points per game, is going to get you a couple of triples, not going to hurt you in the percentages, get you a few boards, get you a few assists, but mainly he's going to bring some a bit of grunt on the defensive end, and he's going to get you some steals by playing bulk minutes. So I was going to put Royce O'Neal on here, but I can't have 2 of the same sort of player. I don't really want to have 2 of the same sort of player. And Dallas play 4 games this week in some decent spots to win some games. They've got Brooklyn, who are not looking too crash up. Then they go on a bit of a road trip. So away to Memphis, away to Indiana, and away to OKC. 4 very winnable games there. So DFS, if you are looking for a bit of an all-rounded stat line, You're looking for somebody who's going to contribute across the board and get you some all-important steals. DFS is absolutely a guy there that you should be having a look at. And then finally, I begrudgingly added this guy to the list. He is not somebody that I recommend owning long-term, but while he's healthy, while he's getting minutes, Kevin Love is absolutely worth a look. Over the last 7 days, 15 points, 3 triples, nearly 7 boards, and great percentages. He is a big man who was probably before his time whenever it came to passing as well. So he's going to get you 2 to 3 per game. And he's looked surprisingly okay. Yeah, he's slow, but he's looked relatively healthy. And if you need points, you need boards, and you need a couple of triples, and somebody who's not really going to hurt your percentages, Kevin Love is going to be that guy. So Cleveland, they run a lot of people through that 4 and 5 spot. So realistically, Kevin Love's going to get a maximum of 20, 25 minutes a night, but he's performing in those minutes. He knows what he needs to do when he's on the court. Obviously, he's a steady-headed vet, and he's been okay. They don't have the easiest slate this week, which means that his second half may not be there. They may get blown out a little bit, but I also could be wrong. Cleveland are playing some really good basketball at the moment. So away to Milwaukee, at home to Chicago, away to Minnesota, at home to Sacramento. And yeah, while he's healthy, Kevin Love is absolutely a guy that you should be looking at. Outside of that, I'm going to be going live on TikTok again this week. I've been really enjoying that. Being able to help some people out with certain trades. Potentially cool a few heads on some rage drops and some rage pickups. And I think that it's probably going to be a bit of a format moving forward. Podcast early in the week, go live on TikTok midweek. So if you are new around here, definitely click the button. Definitely follow us on TikTok as well. I'm working way to 5,000 followers on there. So every single one counts, and it is very much appreciated. So good luck, and yeah, hopefully see you Wednesday.